David Fincher is one of my favorite directors that is currently working today. For the past 3+ decades now, he has made hit after hit after hit he hardly misses. And while he has gained many critical acclaims and many praise on Letterboxd, he himself has won 0 Oscars. I'm gonna change that today. Now, it's true that there are some of his films that have earned Oscars for other people, but in honor of The Killer being wide on Netflix, I want to honor and celebrate every single one of his films. So here's how it's gonna work. I have 12 Oscar categories here, one for each of his films. I need to assign a film to every single one of those awards. Now, here's the trick. I cannot give multiple awards to a single movie. So although I may have my favorites of his and want to award multiple awards to a single film, I cannot do that. The hope is that this is a fun exercise and game and something you can play along with and try to see where you would fit every one of his films into each category. But I've thought about it, I've strategized, and I'm ready to give his films so many awards. And for all you weirdos that just want a quick hitting list, don't worry, I'll give my official David Fincher ranking at the end of this video. Starting from the bottom, we have Best Makeup and Hairstyling. I thought about going with The Girl and the Dragon Tattoo. I also put up Mank for nomination, but my pick here has to be The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. He's an old baby. It's awesome. Next up is Cinematography. The 2 honorable mentions here are Zodiac and Gone Girl, but the winner's going to be Fight Club. This is where it gets tricky because there's a lot of other things I could award Fight Club to, but when I'm putting all the other pieces together, this felt like the best fit, and I do think this is one of his most beautifully shot films. Best Production Design nominations for The Game and also The Killer. There are some sweet locations in these 2 films, but the winner here is Alien 3. And I'm not going to spend this video hating on Alien 3, but it was a little tricky trying to find good awards for it, and the production design is honestly some of the best things it has going for it. For film editing, I thought about Fight Club. I also almost did The Killer for this one, but in the end I went with The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. And this one actually did win the Oscar for Best Film Editing, so I'm not completely wrong with this opinion. Best Original Score, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. The Social Network, which honestly might be my favorite score, but again with the strategy, I got better awards for that film, so I'm gonna go with The Killer. And overall, The Killer was hard to give an award to since it is so fresh in my mind as opposed to these other films which I've seen for almost decades now. But the score is, for lack of a better word, pretty killer. Best Adapted Screenplay, he has so many, so it was hard to even narrow it down to a couple nominations. Fight Club is fantastic. The Girl and the Dragon Tattoo is amazing, but I don't think there's any better script than the one of Zodiac. Now getting into Original Screenplay, and this one was a little more difficult because most of his films are adapted. So shout out to Panic Room and The Game, but the best original screenplay has to go to Seven. The writing, the plot structure, everything about it is just superb. Alright, now we're really getting to it. Let's talk about the Best Supporting Actress. I added a couple more nominations to all of the acting categories just because there's so many people I want to highlight. Cate Blanchett in The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, Gwyneth Paltrow in Seven. I almost went with Kristen Stewart for Panic Room, but I'm saving Panic Room, so this felt like the best place to put Amanda Seyfried in Mank. Possibly my favorite part about that film, and I would say one of, if not my favorite role she's ever done. Best Supporting Actor was difficult because you got a lot of people that I just don't even want to talk about. So quick nominations, I will give slight credit to that loser nobody from Seven. And then there's that creep who I don't know how he hasn't been canceled yet from Panic Room. And then Andrew Garfield from The Social Network, which I did really want to give him this award. But once again, strategically holding on to The Social Network. So this is going to Forest Whitaker in Panic Room. A very underrated film that is really grounded by his character development within it. So now there's Best Actress, another Panic Room, Jodie Foster. But I'm also shouting out another film icon, Sigourney Weaver in Alien 3. I know, I got something else positive to say about that film. I was so close to giving this to Rooney Mara in The Girl and the Dragon Tattoo, but honestly, I didn't see any other way other than to give this to Rosamund Pike. Her performance in Gone Girl makes that entire film what it is. It's shocking to think that that role almost went to Reese Witherspoon, because I really can't see it with anyone but Rosamund Pike, and I can confidently say that is the best role she has ever done in her career. Then there's Best Actor. This one was the hardest to narrow down because, let's be honest, most of David Fincher's films are about leading males. So the 4 that I liked the most were Brad Pitt from Seven, Jesse Eisenberg from The Social Network, Jake Gyllenhaal from Zodiac. The winner, it's going to Michael Douglas for The Game. You'll see where The Game falls in my overall ranking, but he essentially is this film. It doesn't work without him, and he is giving one of the most unique performances compared to other Fincher films. So finally, the Best Picture, and I'm not even going to hold it back, it's The Social Network. I would have given this film so many more awards if it didn't go against the rules that I myself created. But top to bottom, I think it's an absolute masterpiece. So here is my official David Fincher rankings. Alien 3, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Mank, Panic Room, The Game, The Killer, Fight Club, Seven, Gone Girl, Zodiac, The Social Network. So that is the David Fincher Oscars. Comment below your ranking of his films. Where did I completely mess this up? And I would love to see other people try this out and play themselves. Comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And I will see you next time.